Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing my 24 to 28 week update. So it has obviously been a little while since I have filmed, so it does feel a little bit strange. But I was like, it's definitely time to sit down and tell you guys what's been happening, what I've been feeling and going through. So if it's not out already, there will be a separate video on how I've really been feeling. But I do feel like that this is quite an important thing that I do want to share with you if you haven't seen that video or if it's not out already. So for maybe about 2 weeks, to be honest, I just went down this rabbit hole of feeling probably the lowest I have ever felt. My dog is coming as well, who, if you haven't seen my videos, is a little bulldog, so he does snort and snore and breathe quite loudly, so that's what that is. Yeah, I really feel like I went down this very dark, depressive hole where I just was struggling so much with, to be honest, everything. My body, I've never felt so self-conscious. I've never felt more like I just don't love my body, how it's looking. And I touch on this in the other video. I get that it is incredible what the human body can do and it's creating life. I completely get that. I don't want to disregard that. And so many people would like literally be so grateful and like kill to be in my position. I get that. I am not disregarding that at all. I just want to be real and tell you guys that this is what I am feeling. So yeah, I really had struggled with that. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go out anywhere just because I felt so big and ugly. To be honest, as bad as it sounds, like I feel bad, but this is just really the thoughts and feelings that I was having. I struggled to communicate anything to my husband. If anyone brought up weight, which I find is so incredibly common in pregnancy, which I never realized was such a thing. The people around you are so obsessed with weight and the look of you and all of that. And that was something that I 100% was not prepared for. And honestly, it was just so hard to try and keep it together. Like at family gatherings, if someone would mention weight or like, it would just always come up and I felt super triggered and super upset and very, very down about the whole situation. And yeah, it kind of blindsided me because I didn't think that that would be something that I would struggle with. Like, I think it is an obvious thing that when you're pregnant, you put on weight, your body changes. But when you're in it and you have sort of had body issues prior and weight has always been a thing for you, and then you have no control over it. And I get people are trying to help by saying, you know, it's nothing you can do, like it's part of the process. I've heard all of these terms so many times, but unfortunately, I just don't think unless you've been through it and you feel like this, you can't really relate. So just putting it out there, if you are going through this journey, that if you feel like that, you are 100% not the only one. A big struggle as well. I don't want to go too much into it. Watch the other video. My husband's losing a lot of weight, so that like countering me putting on weight is really such a struggle. So yeah, I was really triggered by that, and I say was because I feel like I feel a little better about it. I'm still not super comfortable with everything happening, but I'm trying, I guess, to be a little bit more okay with it. So yeah, one thing that I've absolutely struggled with. So doctor's appointments are now at fortnightly, which again in itself is quite scary. It just feels like this end of what's happening is definitely more serious. Third trimester is obviously the last trimester before you give birth, so it is really becoming a reality. So amazing news is I did the gestational diabetes test for the second time, which again, if you've seen my first video, I actually failed the fasting. That was very early on in the pregnancy, so I would have technically been diagnosed with gestational diabetes. So this time was the correct time where they usually test, and I passed. So I do not have gestational diabetes, which I am kind of surprised about because I was so convinced, which definitely was adding to how I was feeling, because I thought there was going to be some massive changes in my life, my lifestyle, having to possibly inject needles and all of that. So I am beyond grateful that I passed that. Another test that I had to do was just a urine sample. Obviously it's very simple, very easy. You just pee in a cup. I don't know exactly what they were checking for. She just said with the first one I did initially, is that right? Doesn't sound right. It had some contamination in it, so I don't know what that meant, so they just wanted me to redo it. Came back all good. So honestly, everything is looking really good at the moment. Baby is really good. So yeah, I am feeling quite on and off tired. Some days I do have energy, some days I don't. I have noticed recently, which is something I did want to share and show you guys, I haven't put any makeup on today because this is something I've heard about and I didn't realize was happening until quite recently. So I'm actually getting a lot of pigmentation, particularly on my nose, like here. I do have freckles in general, but I'm just noticing, I have a mirror here, I'm just noticing particularly on my nose, the pigmentation is really coming out. So that is just something that may happen to you as well. I also got my hair dyed maybe a couple of weeks ago, I would say, and it really has basically washed out. So again, that's something that I guess to be aware of. Your hair color doesn't last as long. It didn't really go as blonde either. I just noticed it was very different. Obviously your hormones are all over the place. I have fake tanned a handful of times in pregnancy, and I do feel like my usual one coat doesn't really cut it anymore. I do need to do 2 coats of tan to get like a really bronze look. And the last thing I wanted to touch on as well, so I have an O negative blood type, blood group, however you say that. So I had my first anti-D appointment yesterday. So I wanted to talk about that because I'm on a lot of Facebook groups and like forums of people that are due around the same time, and obviously I am a Googler. So this injection is a blood injection. If you're not aware, if you have a positive blood type, then you do not need this. It is for just negative. So it's a blood that they basically, it's a lot of people's blood that they inject into you, and honestly, I don't know the technicals. Definitely like ask your doctor for the technical side of what it is, what it's for, all of that. So Googling, hearing people's opinions definitely terrified me. I have a big fear of needles personally, and it was just something I was beyond dreading. A lot of people say it is so painful, it stings, it hurts, it has to go deep into the muscle, and all of that combined, like the anxiety that this needle has been giving me for weeks is huge. So I just want to let you guys know that it wasn't bad. Honestly, people say you can get sick from it, all of that. Now, I again am not disregarding what people are saying, because everyone has their own experience and opinion. My midwife said she's never heard of anyone getting sick from it, maybe a sore arm, and that's it. And honestly, it was the tiniest little, like, I wouldn't even say a sting, like a little pinch, and that was it. I think it does have to go quite deep, because I felt like it went for like 3 seconds, 3 or 4 seconds. I feel like the whole process took, but I'm fine. It was yesterday, no problems. Tiny bit of a sore arm afterwards, but today is like quite good. I have been trying to move it as much as possible, so I do feel like that may help. But if you do need an anti-D shot, try not to stress as much as I did, because yeah, it was honestly not bad at all. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I thought I would also give you guys a bump date. I never show you my stomach because I feel so self-conscious. Now, again, people, the comments that you hear are just like, wow, you're really like not that big, you're too big, you're putting on too much weight, you're not putting on too much weight. Like, it is so mind-blowing. So for me, everyone says that I don't look like I'm that pregnant. And when I was speaking to the midwife and she was doing the ultrasound yesterday, she actually said that the baby is very much towards the back of me, because she commented that I am quite small, which I don't know. I feel huge, like I'm just growing, like around under my chest and stuff. I felt like that used to be the smallest part of me, and now it's just huge. But I thought, why not share it with you? So again, I'm very self-conscious, but here we go. So this is, like, my boobs are huge. This is the 28-week bump. So I just feel super wide here. But yeah, a lot of people are like, you just don't look that big. And yeah, I understand, but I also do feel very, very big personally. So yeah, I have been also oiling, like using bio oil and like rosehip oils to try and prevent stretch marks as well. So that for me is working quite well. If you are looking for ways to like minimize or not get stretch marks, I think it is a hereditary thing, but for me that is working. But I have been doing that from pretty much day one, so I don't know if starting earlier has definitely helped or not. But yeah, for me, I have maybe like 2 slight white stretch marks at the moment, so fingers crossed that they don't get any worse. But again, it is what it is. My dog. So that is it for my update. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I will see you in my next video very soon. Thanks again. Bye.